All right, Coach, introduce yourself and we'll get started.
I'm Steve Henson, men's basketball coach at UTSA.
Coach, a lot of things are going on in San Antonio, and the Roadrunners are one of the part of that. Just talk about where you had the guys out on the floor for a couple of weeks now. Games are fixing to start this upcoming weekend. Well, not this weekend, but 10 days out. What are you waiting for, and what's your expectations?
Yeah, we're really pleased with where we're at. You know, guys are working like crazy. The expectations are high, which is good. That's what we wanted. We started rebuilding this program, and wanted people talking about us, and now we had to respond and handle that. You know, our expectations a few years ago weren't very high for this program, and our guys have come in and done a terrific job building a culture. We've got a couple terrific players that get some individual attention, but we need to pull it all together and become a good basketball team as quickly as possible.
When you took the job, did you look at it as, do I need to get old fast, or do I need to kind of like balance some situations and bring some guys in, get enough high school guys in, and just start to succeed and build it from there?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's a lot of ways to do it, and we did not set out intentionally to say no to transfers or grad transfers. We just didn't find the right guys in that first class, so we ended up, our first recruiting class was 4 high school kids. 2 of them came in and started every single game of their career for 3 years and really helped us establish some things. And then we came back to that second recruiting class and started balancing some things out. Brought in a junior college player, a couple more real talented high school players, Javon Jackson, Keaton Wallace. So things are balanced out now, and now we continue to just to add to it. We got a transfer that sat out last year. Will be eligible for us this year. Took another junior college player, 2 more junior college players, in fact, this year. So just trying to balance out the classes and continue to look for the right guys, the guys that fit our style and fit our system.
Like I asked Coach Brian, the league has changed since the time that you come in. Has it come to a point where it's post dominated? Because on the fellow side, it just depends on what you got working that year.
Yeah. You know, if an elite post player in this league will have a lot of success. You know, but still, you look across and start voting for honors and then start looking at the best player on a lot of these teams.
It's always been a guard.
Tends to be guards. You know, certainly Bassey right now is one of the best players in the league and a terrific interior player. But there's a lot of really, really good point guards, combo guards, scoring guards in this league.
Talk about the guys that you've had that have gone through the program and the success that they brought, especially the local kids. How they can be your mouthpiece as far as recruiting in the area. How much does that help, maybe?
Well, it's huge. You know, Texas basketball is fantastic. We know that. We said when we took the job we were going to recruit Texas, and to have players like Javon Jackson, Keaton Wallace come in from Dallas, have such a huge impact on our program is terrific. Now we can go back into Dallas and say, hey, look what these guys are doing. We've got some Houston players on our roster now. There's a lot of good players in San Antonio and Austin. So the state is terrific. The junior colleges in the state are good. So we're gonna do our work in the state. You know, San Antonio also appeals across the country. We've had some international kids, so we're balanced out. But we love having those Texas kids.
Talk about that. That's been a point of emphasis pretty much for everybody, from the pros all the way down. International game has changed since when you and I were younger and all, and it was you maybe see 1 or 2, and then it's once every 4 years during the Olympics. Now you look on anybody's college schedule roster, it's not hard for you to not see at least 2 or 3 international kids on it.
Yeah. I think the opportunities are better for the kids to get over here now. Certainly, the recognition of the talent worldwide. You know, the NBA game going globally the way it has. You know, has made the international kids more interested in coming to the States on the collegiate level. It's just opened a lot of doors for kids. A lot more scouting that goes on over there. A lot more awareness to players in different parts of the world. So technology probably has had an impact on that as well. But it's a different type of recruiting. You know, it's you got to do a lot more corresponding, just information. You got to invest a lot of time to do it. It can be costly if you're going to go see them in person. There's some ways you can recruit without actually having to get over there if you can't afford it in your budget.
The other thing, facilities on. I just asked Coach now about facilities on campus. You know, that's the big bells and whistles now. This past summer when the NC2A came down to Houston, and for the academy, and it was around the 4 sites around the country. Everybody talked about how it may be probably the best thing that they thought of just on you all side, even though it was a stretch, but it was pretty much successful in all this summer. Getting out to 4 different sites, stretched out, how much did that put a stress on your coaching staff?
It wasn't. It was a good opportunity. You know, some schools probably tried to hit all 4 sites real hard. You know, we spent the most of our time in Houston. You know, to see the Texas kids. We did send one coach to each of the other locations at different times, but you know, get a lot of different feedback from those events. But I think it was a good thing. It gave us a chance to see a lot of kids in a short amount of time, and I was pretty pleased with the way it went.
Building on that, postseason play is where everybody wants to get to, and everybody wants to get to the dance. How close is the conference to getting more than just one?
Well, we need to get to that point because the top of this league has been really, really strong for several years. You know, the scheduling part is huge. That's what we spend all of our time talking about at our league meetings. How do we position ourselves? How does our league position itself to get that second bid, to get that at-large bid? Because those teams at the top are terrific. We've gone to the NCAA tournament for several years and won that first round game. I think 3 years in a row. Conference USA won that first round game, and Old Dominion represented us last year. They were a terrific team. So we got to keep working on it. I think as the middle and the bottom continue to get better, which I think they have dramatically in the last couple of years, I think that will help position us better. And then we got to be wise with our scheduling. And we got to win. Everybody's got to win non-conference. You know, that's one thing to have the plan on paper. You know, and there's a lot of different opinions on how that should go. We should go about that. But once you get it all on paper, you got to win those non-conference games, and that's been an issue as well.
The other thing, how do you still have a good feeling about the mid-season when they schedule the networks, and I'm saying the networks because they're the ones that are responsible for with mid-major, Power 5 games and all to teams when they want to fill in the middle of the season and put somebody in a position, one of the mid-majors or the high mid-majors, to put them in a position to like get another look-see in front of everybody on that particular weekend.
Some of those events that they create. Yeah. You know, again, I think as the Power 5 continues to gobble up games and play more conference games, that means they're playing fewer non-conference games, which limits the opportunities, makes scheduling tougher across the board for everyone other than the Power 5. So yeah, I think the conferences are aligning and trying to create opportunities to put, if you get your best teams go head to head, pressure involved with that. It's also an opportunity to add to your resume.
Well, Coach, is there anything you can think of that I hadn't asked about UTSA today, or San Antonio in general?
Well, we got a fun group. We got 5 or 6 of our top 8 returners. Got 6 new kids too, so we got a nice mix. We have a lot of fun. We play a fun style. We got a couple guards that are fun to watch, and we're gonna keep fighting.
All right, it's always about them guards, Coach. It's always about them guards. Reintroduce yourself, and we'll close this out.
I'm Steve Henson, men's basketball coach, UTSA.
This is Jerry Lee Woodley Jr., the College Sports Report, signing off.